Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Legion, League of
Legions.
Yes.
We're rebranded so that we can be
yes.
counted as a Legions podcast.
Yeah, apparently we don't have enough legions in our name, so we're the lounging lair of legendary legions.
Euro.
Yeah. All right, so it is Sunday, May 7th, 2023. We've got a very awesome guest joining us here in a moment tonight. Curtis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. First of all, gotta say, and I know you're always going to play it off every time I say it, but I love the music. It's a bop at the beginning. It always gets me going. Also, new artwork up in the corner there for everybody. That's a Jesse Arnold exclusive and pretty awesome. So liking the new artwork. Yeah, we got a lot of people in chat already. We got Joe.
I saw it.
We got Eldor, JG, Eduardo, Patrick. Oh, we got Patrick in here. We got Star, Zombie 13, Kevin
What's
Dufresne.
up, Zombie Kevin? Man. Hello, everybody.
We're getting a full house. We must have some sort of really special guest.
We certainly do. Well, let's not delay that guest any longer. Let's give a round digital warm applause of welcome. I did it again to the one and only Wolf King himself, Legion's Len.
There it is. The Wolf King. What's going on, Len?
Hello, gentlemen. Good evening.
Kevin says, doesn't Curtis run My Wife Is Going to Kill Me podcast? Can he just rewrite the rules? I'm trying. Right now they've got us excluded, but we're going to see if we can weasel our way in. So,
I mean, I don't know if I want to play a game.
Well, it's like trivia about legions, and I've seen the other Legion show, and they're kind of dumbasses. So, I mean,
right, shots fired.
Yeah,
the words and the views and expressions of Curtis do not necessarily reflect those of Just Shelve or their parent company.
I mean, I think Trevor kind of knows some stuff, but I mean, Casper and Brad, we definitely could beat. Some of those Euro guys, I don't even know that they speak the same language. I don't know.
What are you talking about? They speak all sorts of languages.
Look, you got Cookie in the chat.
Wow.
There it is.
There's my boy.
Man.
All right.
Figuratively speaking.
It is a special day.
It's a nice sweater.
Got David Williams. And
hey, David.
Coming out of the woodwork for Len.
Oh, he's in Sacramento. He's out at
he's still there.
The Mythic Meetup that was going on this weekend. I saw some pictures from that. Looks like everybody was having a good time.
Yeah, looked great.
Looked like Eric LeBron was giving some sort of lecture at some point.
Yeah, he was like doing like an interview or something. Somebody had like a big camera on him.
Yeah. Excellent. Ostradamus is here. All right, yeah, all sorts of folks in the chat. Welcome. Yeah. So Len is here with us tonight, and Len has contributed to our shelf selections, which we're going to get right into here. So we got some picks from Len and the usual ones from Curtis and myself. So
yeah, I went a little overboard this time. I think I sent you like 5 instead of my normal.
That's okay. We all did 5, so it leveled out.
Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
Beautiful.
I figured we'd have some double up. So
I got to remember who I sent you.
All right, so let's get Len there up at the top so we can let him see what's going on, and we'll go to I believe it's going to go Len, Curtis, and then my pick. So we got this one here,
which this is Nate Strong.
Yep,
it's just a really cool shot.
Yeah,
with a great, beautiful backdrop going on and the focal point. Beautiful photography, right?
Yeah,
the setup, the composition's nice.
Yeah, everything, the lighting, the setup, the difference in scale of these figures, and
perspective.
It was one of those ones that I looked at and I was like, man, if I wasn't doing this, like trying to find new folks that I'm not following, I would definitely have to use this one because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this one is definitely really cool. I love seeing the Ophelia figure from Pan's Labyrinth, I love that movie, but it's so hard to watch just because of the emotions that come out of it. But it's cool seeing her juxtaposed with the giant forest troll.
Juxtaposed. Wow. He can't hit that digital welcome, but he's got just the pose, everybody. Let's hear it for Jesse
Hey,
Arnold.
I used to be somewhat intelligent at one
All
point.
right. There you go.
Is that a fairy in her hand, Jesse? Is that what she's
Yes.
on, like a little
Yeah.
fairy? And that
Yeah.
comes with it?
I imagine so. Yeah. In the movie, there's a couple of them that she interacts with, and it's Guillermo del Toro, so like they're not your typical like
Right.
Disney fairy tale fannies. Everything's got a bit of a Guillermo darker twist to it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of imagery from it. I haven't watched it, but I've seen a lot of imagery from it.
It's like I said, it's really good. It's not a really up movie, but it's beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah, great one from Nate Strong. First one from Curtis.
Yep, this is the Diorama Project, and they had several pictures, kind of like how they progressed to get to this. And I just thought it was a really cool, little dio with the light kind of coming in and the vines and everything, and I just thought it was really neat how they put this together. So,
yeah, I like the light glowing out there. It's like, is there some sort of electricity outside, or on the other side of that grate, or is that like the sun coming into this like darkened ruined cell or something?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And my first pick of the week is from
I saw that one too. That's nice.
I believe is that Brian Ramos?
I think it was. Yep.
HSE Juro on Instagram. But yeah, I saw this and I just love seeing that black and red mixed with the Baron Volliger too, with that Dracula-esque helmet.
Right. That movie, as horrible as it was, had some great visual. That armor was incredible, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I like seeing the different take with the black instead of just the pure red.
I'm guessing that's the Furious 4 arms on that. Is that what that looks like to you? Yeah.
Looks like Furious 4 arms, and I think legs I saw in one of the other pictures.
Yeah, sorry. I was supposed to be commenting, and I'm just like staring at this, trying to take in all the different parts and figure out where everything's from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it looks like
is that the
Olithia
skirt
blades
from Brother Mandibulus?
Possibly. Or it might be some custom piece.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks like it's using quite a few different parts. It's really good looking, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Trevor's in the chat. Trevor, I definitely was not talking bad about you and all the other Legion shows that throw Legion in their name, and so therefore are more credible than our show.
Another one from Len.
Tomas.
Oh, that's right. I was trying to remember who did this.
Tomas Stradivari, our friend. That's
right.
Yeah, I just loved it. I like the really when people go basic primary color, not primary, but like very like matte,
bold, bold
color like that with the contrast. And this is just really cool. It gave it sports teams, college, army. It's like that army colors of the. They're like football and sports teams, and it's just a really cool combo. I mean, it's classic too. It's like New Orleans too. It has that really neat look to it. I like it.
Yeah. I really like that one when I saw it, and I like the black paint on that hood. It just makes him look so much more.
Yeah,
like Dubon's a great looking figure, but that black hood just makes him look so much more like badass assassin.
Yeah. I think it actually takes restraint to keep yourself from doing a lot more of the detail. On that, but I think that's what makes it too, because it has that really bold look to it, strong contrast colors.
Yeah, it's not overboard, it's not crazy, but the colors work well off of each other, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a character. Love it.
Yeah.
Next up from Curtis.
Yep, this is a QLAW Toy Picks. QLAW Toy Picks. Don't know. But this is another one that was not following. I am following now. Thought it was just a great, like the way that they set it up to where the background, even though it's our scale, they've got it set up to where it looks like it's his scale, like this figure scale. So I just love the little path there and everything. Just the way that they set up this shot works really well for me.
Yeah, and I don't know what it looks like. There's some sort of wash or extra finish on that figure. But I mean, that looks like real metal. Like, it's a great overall composition and look there. Very
Yeah,
cool.
and the
I like
soft hood. I like the
yeah.
way it's kind of bunching around the neck and then
under
coming
the
down.
pauldron.
Yeah.
Apparently, my friend last week, Luke, who was watching, has basically said we need to turn this show into a drinking game for when anyone says the word pauldron.
Yeah.
He said he would have been dead last week in like 2 minutes. So,
I mean, it's Mythic Legions. They do use a lot of pauldrons.
yeah, he's like, I've
Like,
never
go
heard
to
that word
Cosmic
so many
Legions,
times.
and they've got like none. they've got a couple shell ones, and that's about it.
All right, up next, what's one's this one from Stronox Customs, this epic troll corrupted centaur. I just absolutely loved this. The color combo on the horse parts, yeah, is an amazing. All the sculpting they did on the head, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's that's like you're over the top next level, next tier custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big centaur guy, but this is cool. I like what they did with this. Kind of made it very unique from the other, the Apharius that we've seen. Love the color. The skin color is very unique. And then the tips of those horns where it goes purple is really cool as well. So,
and I like
the job.
Like the man, I'm doing it again with the mouse. The bracelet or whatever it is around the cuff around the horse's leg is pretty cool.
Yeah,
on the front leg there.
It looks like he
loves Legion League of Legions. So, and
yeah, it looks like he cut off Aerithir's ears.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, as awesome. Kevin just said that out there too. Yeah, so it's like Aerithir's ears.
Zombies calling you out on your absolutely's, Jesse.
Yeah, I already showed that one, Curtis. Pay attention.
I just want to make sure you know.
Oh, I know. I'm very aware every time I say it, even when it's not on this show. Speaking of absolutely, Len picked an absolute winner with this one.
I am shocked.
Honestly, I gotta be honest. I sent that to you by accident in the group of pictures. I screenshotted it to send to Van.
Oh,
and it got mixed in with yours, and I realized it, and I'm like, we'll let it go.
No, it's great.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
that's the.
I like the you didn't adopt the sweat, and I was born to it. Just the quote on it is just great, and I love
I'm shocked this isn't from Van.
I know, right? Yeah, I had to send it to him, and he loved it.
Like, I didn't read the bottom line of it until just now, but I was like, man, this almost looks like the Apocalypse Rogue thing from the X-Men cartoon, and there it is.
That's cool.
That's funny.
Good stuff. Oh,
we got Greg in here now too, and Dave Orkin.
Hey, Greg.
What's up, folks?
Hey,
this one we got a couple pictures. This is Miguel Espago. Hope I'm saying that right. And
there's a couple pictures.
Yep. And I was not following him. I am now. This is a paladin that he made from Mythic Legion parts, as well as some custom parts that he bought and painted up. And then he just kind of has two really cool shots. This is kind of a front view with those sparks and stuff, and then the other picture.
I don't have it. I don't know what happened.
Jesse,
look, Curtis, I had moonshine today. Give me a break.
All right. Well, folks, there was another picture. If you go to Miguel's Instagram, and it's from behind him, and it's really cool too.
That's why
statue.
I'm not going to show it to you. So you have to go look at Miguel Espago's page and check it out. So go do that, preferably after the show, or if you've got multiple devices, that's fine.
There you go.
What's up? Brian has joined in, and
Destination Stone.
Dwayne and maybe Stevie's watching from Destination Stone. All right, up next, it was May the 4th week, which you know, I May the 4th. I don't know. It's weird that that's such like a pop culture thing. Like that. Years ago, I was at a car mechanic getting my car worked on, and the lady was leaving, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm getting started early." And it was May. It was like the 3rd or something. She's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving early, getting started on Cinco de Cuatro." And I'm like, that is not how. That's not how that works. But I saw this great shot of this the Samurai Mall and from toys and photography.
Do you remember the first time that you heard the whole May the 4th thing and you thought it was funny, like many, many years ago? And then now it's just like, shut up.
Yes. And in 5 years, it's going to be a real holiday.
Yeah. Like, it's like everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. This is cool though. I like the samurai vibe mixed in with the Star Wars. So yeah, this is cool. I like this.
And I always love seeing the dust effect when whether it's photoshopped in or if it's like a real dust spray or like a mix of elements. I always think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to hit the button. And there's another one from Len.
Yes, that's from Darren Chan. He sent that to me because he was just very happy with that head and the way it looked. And he did a really great job painting it. My picture I sent you probably isn't so great. He gave me some nice close-ups. And I think he did post it in the Cabal last week. He's kind of newer, but it's definitely, he did a bang-up job. I really like the way that looks.
Yeah, that looks great on Lady of Verona.
What's the name of that head? I know Emil sculpted it, but what's the name of that head? Do you know, Len?
Nose ring girl?
Yeah. I'm sure Len's got a name like that.
Shelena.
Yeah.
No, actually, like that's what I actually call her, even in my head. I probably one of the few parts that I don't have a name for, but for some reason I do call her by her real name.
I did see some pictures. I think it was in the Wolf Den that he posted, and yeah, he did a great job on that head. It looks really good. So,
yes.
This is the other picture.
Okay. All right. I did have it. I apologize.
So hopefully you got my other ones in there. So, but yeah, this is the backside of Miguel's Paladin that we were talking about earlier. So there you go, folks.
Okay. This is the man. What's up, Carlo? Yeah, this was cool. I didn't realize the name was the same. Like I said, I try not to look too hard at your pictures when I send them, so I can enjoy them watching the show with you.
Well, I've got our message up, and I said one is a double picture, but you know.
But Len said something about doubles too, so it all just blurred together. Look, I had moonshine today, and I worked for 13 hours yesterday, so give me a break.
Go easy on him, Curtis.
You can make the slides next week.
We'll do.
There's another one from me. I know the Shazam sequel's not getting a lot of love in the theaters. It's already on HBO. I thought it was fun. And I like seeing this classic kind of comic style look to him from Badass Reviews. Is that Carlos Espino? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I met him at Legion's Con, and he's been like in the Motu groups and stuff. Because Sean did some artwork for him years ago. But yeah, I saw this and I just love that bright, hopeful looking superhero look there.
Yeah. Is that a Mezco, Len?
I was going to ask Jesse. I'm not really sure. They don't make, that's not I don't think that's the Mezco head. Is that the movie head or is that the classic head?
It's
definitely not the movie head.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but it is cool looking. I like the sky in the background and kind of the light coming off of the lightning bolt on his chest. So
it could be the Mezco. I have it. It's really nice, but I don't remember if that's one of the alt heads with it, like a more that kind of look.
I made the mistake of asking Len because he has like a million Mezcos, but I also forgot that he doesn't open like most of them, so they're all still in boxes.
More like Mez closed.
Oh,
sorry. Moving on.
I look at him.
Yeah.
I think this is maybe Len's last pick for the week or for the
that is from Rich Keiss, good friend of mine, good guy, local to me. He lives close, and we all know Rich as like the skeleton guy, right? He just does amazing skeleton stuff. And this was a head that I only gave away free in orders, as a thank you over the past probably 2 years. And Rich did a paint job. He used those pauldrons, which I I think that's like a rubber snake that he got from another toy.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't send the second photo. You could see the feet because he actually wrapped snakes around. He dremeled
Oh, cool.
out the holes in the boots, in the classic armored boots, and like I don't know how he did it. He used like a glues and he wrapped the snakes around them. The whole guy overall is really. Oh, there he is.
That is really cool. I like how it's got like the one pauldron is like the Vorthog one. The other one's a different pauldron. And then it's got the chain, like he made the hole in the Vorthog one, and he's got that chain going across. And I thought those were like different pauldrons, like something 3D sculpted, but then you talked about the snake, and I can see that now. And then that's I believe that's a My Action Figure Customs torso there.
I think
just a whole bunch of different parts, and he's got the one armored arm, the one bone arm. That's just really cool.
Yeah. Rich has great stuff.
Oh, I said pauldron, so we gotta take a drink.
Hey, Rich, I see Rich is here.
Yeah. I got one of these heads from you last year, and I didn't know that's what that was. I mean, I was a surprise in the box, but I made the bad choice of trying to paint a pattern on the snakes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think Boonstra picked that up like straight away Saturday morning. When he saw it, because he apparently really likes snakes, and he was like, "Oh, that's a such and such, a such and such." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I thought I got the colors wrong."
Yeah, I think Boonstra breeds snakes actually. So
Okay,
it's not surprising. Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, but that is a really fun head to paint. So
cool.
This one is mine. Force photos. Just really cool story in this shot. I like, the Brontus. He's got the guy. It looks like one of those old kind of stop animation, movies or something where like the guy's got his arms behind, like he's gonna scream and stuff. And then you got Conan around the corner looking. So I just thought this was just really cool the way that they set that up. So
yeah,
it made me laugh when I looked at it, because it was like one of those cheesy old movies.
Yeah,
those are great movies.
I know. I'm not saying cheesy in a bad way. I'm saying cheesy in a loving way.
And it just took me a minute to realize. I thought the rocks like that he's holding on to on the right side of the image, I thought those were crystals for a moment, and it took me a minute to realize they're just sandy rocks. But I thought that's really cool. I like when pictures mess with my vision.
Yeah, they do have a crystal like structure to them, so.
Yeah,
facets on them.
Very cool.
I looked it up. That was a Mezco.
Okay.
Shazam. That is, yeah.
Yes.
I like the way that he's looking around the corner there. It reminds me of
Jonathan.
Ryan Gonzalez did one not too long ago with Dubon and I think Valak in it. And Dubon was kind of hiding in the corner, like looking around the corner. And
that one was cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that.
That was cool.
So,
who was that? Was that Michael Xavier?
That was Ryan Gonzalez.
Oh, Gonzo. Yeah, that was awesome.
Old Rygon.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we got my last pick again. It had Ahsoka. I'm pretty sure these are the Hot Toys.
Yeah, that looks like the Anakin.
I love Ahsoka, and seeing Captain Rex with the clones with the orange paint on it and Anakin and everything was really cool to see that one. And that's Bearded Toyman. That's shoot. Why am I blanking on who that is? I'm sorry.
I can't remember either. I know it's
I know I'm gonna kick myself later.
Well, it's Bearded Toyman. So
yes.
That's the problem.
I know his real name.
Beard Jordan.
It's what?
Jordan is what it says when you go to his Instagram.
Okay.
So
all right,
there you go.
Maybe I don't know. Brains. Yes. Yeah. Spencer shots recreate. Absolutely.
Yeah. What's in the bottom corner here? Is that a droid in the background?
I think that's just like a piece of like terrain or like a debris or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's a specific.
It could be like it's in
like the right corner. It looks like a robot though. I don't know. Maybe like next to the foot for the.
I know exactly what you're talking
okay.
about.
No?
I'm not seeing it close enough to see it as anything as just like a set decoration. I don't think it's a droid. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah,
Oh, Trevor says it's Jordan.
Jordan. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It looks like a structure or something. I just zoomed in on the photo. Yeah, it's like it just looks like some sort of structure. So
yeah, like a column or something. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. I think. Yep, that is it for the self.
You
Nope.
missed one of mine. Damn it.
See, I did my homework.
Look.
Damn it, Jesse. Now I gotta send it to you because I want you to pull it up.
We'll use it next week.
No.
I know which one you're talking about too. It was very cool, and I actually thought Len sent it to me, but somehow I missed it. It didn't load in the slides. Look, I barely got the slides in here at all. Like I did them all on my iPad, and then they would not sync into my computer. I had to redo the whole thing.
Jesse. We're gonna have a talk later.
I look forward to disconnecting my Wi-Fi. All right, let's remove that. Let's get Len going here. Len, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You're still awake.
I am.
It's 9:30.
9:30 is okay. I stay up later than that.
Okay.
It's all right. We're all good.
Oh, gotcha. Thought all you got, all you.
I am in my pajamas though.
Oh, nice. I thought all you East Coast guys went to bed early.
You got your Legion's Con shirt on. It looks like, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's the con one with the army gray.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
I don't sleep in that though. I just had to do that because I didn't want to, wear a blank t-shirt.
You don't want to do a Matt Rod on the show.
Why would he do?
He's done it from his bathtub before. Not our show, but he's done his shows like from the bathtub with folks before,
I'm pretty sure he came on OffWorld a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure he was drunk before he got on the show.
Yeah, he was fully clothed as far as
it was a good time though. Yeah. So Len, we saw earlier David Williams was talking about said Wolf King had a pretty good weekend in Sacramento. Did you send any cool stuff out there, or what any new parts? Or
yeah, I sent David some things. I asked him since I knew he was going, and I said, do you have any interest in taking some parts? Or actually, I think he asked me, do you want me to represent Wolf King in any way? And I said, sure. So I happened to have the box that I sent from a ski con.
Oh, nice.
Still. So I just went bloop, bloop, tape. And I'm like, okay, don't get overwhelmed when you get this box. So I sent him pretty much the whole box. And then I realized once it got to him that David lives in Arizona.
Oh.
And like all East Coast people, we don't fathom the size of the West Coast, like that California is massive and Arizona's even further. And I'm like, oh shit. He's like, well, I'll see what I can fit on my carry-on. And I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like I'm thinking you're gonna drive there, and I guess he did get a decent amount of stuff there because he had a great weekend. He sold a lot of his painted things, and he sold some of our unpainted to kind of represent us on the West Coast.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I saw a picture with LeBron had like his garage full of Legion, so it looks like they must have sent some stuff out there from Four Horsemen. I saw some people's pickups. It looked like there was quite a good selection out there too. So
yeah, it looked like a really good event. I mean, it would look, Nate was there, Nate Barge.
Yeah. I talked to Walter today. I asked if this is going to be like an annual thing at this point, and he said he's really hoping so. So
yeah, that's great.
That's cool. So you're going to be going to Legion's Con for sure. I know Wolf King will have a big presence there. Do you have any other shows between now and then that are coming up?
I believe that I'm still on the schedule to do ToyCon New Jersey on June 10th, which it's not going to be a big setup. I never did Joe's show, and he's a friend of mine, and I really want to kind of be there, to see, just be there. And I'm not like bringing the whole thing, like a Legion's Con type thing. And then the after that, the next show that we're going to be doing is RetroCon, which is what is that, Justin?
September, mid-September, I think.
No, it's the first weekend of September.
Okay.
So it's kind of close to August. So first weekend of September, if anyone's interested, go to RetroCon.
Okay.
I don't know if it's .com or just go on Facebook. Great show. I've done it for years, even before Wolf King. Like I peddled toys there, like vintage mostly. And it's a wonderful show. It's put on by wonderful people, and we're going to have a really big presence there.
Cool. September 9th and 10th.
There you go. Yeah, we're actually going to be doing a Four Horsemen road team there. They're a little stretched. It's kind of close to PowerCon, so kind of pick up the slack for that one with it and do it ourselves and do it like a road team would. So we're going to have full on product for from the Horsemen at normal show pricing.
Gotcha. Well, and you had a pretty big announcement this past week that you're now an official retailer for Four Horsemen as well.
Yes. Isn't that exciting?
It is very exciting. So
yeah, we're just
kind of your one-stop shop for everything Legions.
Yeah, it just kind of seemed to make sense. Like, just to blend the two together. We've gone hand in hand with them for the past 3 years. And honestly, before Wolf King happened, I wanted to get into retail of the figures.
Mm-hmm.
I've always done toy shows. I love them. They're just fun. It's a good way to interact with people. And the problem on the East Coast with the toy shows is if you do them in the area that the Four Horsemen go to a show, which is it's hard to go and sell them yourself because everyone's going to buy from them. So it's kind of difficult. So I kind of put it off, and then Wolf King happened, and I didn't really do it. But I got so used to running a full retail website, and I think running it pretty well with not a lot of really hitches over the last 3 years that I said, why not? Let me take a stab at this, and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to conquer the world, but if people can pick up some things and get some good deals on some parts that they're going to use anyway, let's see what happens if we merge the two.
So I understand what you're saying.
Talk about some of that.
Real quick, I understand what you're talking about with shows that the Horsemen are going to be at. Obviously, Legions Con might not make sense to bring figures and stuff, but what about smaller shows that the Four Horsemen aren't at? Do you anticipate that when you set up now, you're going to have parts and figures together?
Yes. Yeah. See, that was one thing, was that it limited the shows that we could really do, because to do a show that the Horsemen weren't with us, it didn't make sense. It's very hard to be well, you have to go online and buy the figures or find the figures so I did one show like that. It was a very small one, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Very small. And it actually worked. We got a lot of nice new fans of the whole entire line at this show. But I thought at that time, man, it would be awesome if I actually had figures here to sell too. So it does definitely works hand in hand. It gives me more ability to go out and find other shows that we can do and kind of support it that way. Even though we love being next to them at shows like we are at Zolo and last year Retro. Yeah, that works out really well.
Okay. I'm sorry, Jesse, you were saying something?
No, Len was talking about, the shop. So let's talk about a little bit about your, if you're not tired of talking about it, these kind of rewards and incentives to getting your pre-orders from Wolf King.
Yeah. So, we have had for the last, I would say 6 months, maybe even 8, a reward system where you can earn Wolf King coins for every dollar you spend. And then you can redeem those coins for basically prizes. There's a shop that you can go into and see what you can get. You can buy a one-time use coupon, or one-time use coupon for a free t-shirt, or for a free part. So there's different things you can do, and I'm going to constantly be changing those and adding different things to make it fun and exciting for people to get things. You do get for every $5. Is it $5? No, for every. I'm going to mess this up. For every Basically, it's like for every 100 you spend, you'll get $5 back. Even though I had to do it a little different on the math part.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, what's this?
If anyone wants
yeah.
really a lot of information, I'll put up some posts on my medias for Will White's Billy Beige's channel. He did an amazing YouTube right the other day. Didn't ask him to do it, but man, he just did an awesome, like almost infomercial for it, where he actually he went through and did an order and he saw the rewards and he really talks about it, like the whole way that system works.
Billy Mays Beige.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like I want to. I didn't promote it yet because he put it everywhere on Friday, and I'll give it a couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, and there is free shipping going on right now, right through tonight.
Yeah, through tonight. It should be, I think, until midnight. You don't know.
And it's Happy Curtis. Is that it?
Yes.
That's the code.
Use the code Happy Curtis. Free domestic shipping. $25 minimum, and it's because Curtis finally got his.
Curtis was finally not a grumpy jerk.
And then, yeah, and there's also on the website too for pre-orders. It's a flat rate $8 shipping, and that's from one figure up into an all-in or more, and we'll do a flat rate $8 ship domestically. So basically, you go in and you do the pre-orders. When they come in, through the website, I generate an invoice that goes to you, and you can pay it through that portal, and I set the shipping amount, and it's going to be $8 flat for everyone.
So it looks like right now you've got the newest Cosmic Wave. It looks like Necronominus is on there, and the Retailer Wave. Is that everything?
Yes, the Retailer Wave minus the headless.
Okay, that's already sold out or something, or pre-orders are done.
I just didn't want to have it available yet.
Gotcha.
I kind of missed it. I have a limited amount that I'm going to have, and I don't have a lot of them.
Okay.
The Necro, I had it on Friday, and it's everything but the hands and the hands and accessory packs.
Okay.
Everything else is there, and like you said, the Cosmic Zaxius is there. That was like really the first one we got on.
So, and then, obviously you just got into this announcement just came out this week and stuff, but, are you expecting that as we get further down the road that you'll actually have some figures in stock on here as well as on top of pre-orders? Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I'll absolutely have them in stock. As they come in, and, it'll be like a normal website thing where it's a real-time inventory. As far as that goes, I need to figure out when that happens is how I'm going to do the shipping on it. I might not be able to do like the flat rate $8 shipping on that when they're actually in stock, because I can't like send out a separate invoice, but I that's something I'll work out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if, you go out there and you see some new parts from, Emil or from Steven or whatever, and you go, oh man, it'd be nice to have, an extra body to go with it. Oh, just add that to your cart and
and that's absolutely
at the same time.
That's absolutely the goal. So like when we have the figures in stock, there could be like a special where you get, we pair up, and I'll do like a 2-for-1, like buy this figure and get the head free. Like they're like I'm definitely going to work the bundle angle a lot, like Jesse's showing here with the all-in special.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one thing that we can appeal to our fan base with, the customizers that we try to support. So like with this all-in special, if you do the all-in with us, it's a normal retail all-in. The figures have to be what they are because there's, minimum pricing. But you're going to get, like with this, it's going to equate to basically like a head and an accessory for each figure in the wave. And it'll be like, it's our choice. You can't just go on the website and pick anything. It's going to kind of be like, I hate using the word mystery box. It's more of a curated box where we look at like parts specifically for them. I'm not going to send you
that would make sense.
Yeah, like a night head for your like cosmic figure. Like,
gotcha.
Like they're going to be, and you'll have it in hand before everyone else. Like you'll see it in your hand. They might even end up being exclusives where they're only done with bundle packs.
Well, you're getting some love out here. Michael Casper says Len's one of the nicest guys in the community.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
You've got Steve-O says favorite place to get parts from, loves Wolf King.
Thanks, Steve.
So yeah, definitely getting some love out here too. Cool.
Danny's popping in with a hello beauties. Pretty sure
Hey, Danny.
that's for Curtis and Len.
No, I'm pretty sure that's Jesse and Len because
yeah, this bundle deal, when I saw, like, I was excited when I saw you were getting that you were going to become a vendor. And then when I saw like I kept reading the email and I'm like, wait, there's what and what and what? Like, it just seemed like you were adding so many things on there. It was really cool. And these like curated boxes to go with the wave, I think is a really cool thing for customizers. Whether you customize yourself or if you have someone who paints stuff for you, like that's a really cool deal.
Right. Yeah. We might, I mean, it really just depends on how it goes. Like if it seems very popular and people like it, or we get a lot of requests for paint it, we might do like a painted heads set option for this, like say it's this, but then there can be a painted option for it. Of course, it'll be more expensive, but it's something I'm definitely going to consider, but it's all experimental at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting. I can't wait to see how this goes for you. And congratulations and
Thank you.
And all that. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I would encourage anybody that wants some more information on it, go check out Billy Beige's video because it is
absolutely
pretty in depth and really gives you the lowdown on it. So he did a great job. And Jonathan says he's already grabbed a Wolf King all in. So
Jonathan is our first all in customer for that. Thank you, Jonathan.
All right.
Beautiful. So Len, when it comes to your collecting, I mean, obviously we know you keep a lot of Mezco in boxes. When it comes to Mythic Legions, are you a completist? Do you have everything on your shelf? Do you have a lot of customs on your shelf? Like, what do you like to display for yourself?
I have customs on display. The room I'm in is actually my office and it's still in the middle of being redone. So I have like 3 empty detolfs on the back wall that have like covers on them because the room's getting redone. And I have another detolf downstairs. And that detolf, I have all the customs, like things I get from friends, people. Like I keep all that like special, like it's all special. Like people send me things and, or if I buy something, if I see something and I really love, unfortunately, my figures are everywhere. Like they're in pieces everywhere. Like if you can imagine, if you have a 7-year-old that plays with Lego, and this stuff's everywhere, that's what it's like. Because I'm constantly like measuring, fitting, messing, so I'm just grabbing like whatever's there and I'm ripping apart and I'm doing like it's bad.
Well, I saw your bends for the pop and swap at Legions Con, so I can kind of
that
imagine,
was so
like,
cool.
Well, that wasn't anything. I mean, that was literally just like I don't even know. So people know, like if you've never seen us at a show, we have a pretty large display where we show a lot of figures. And at an event like Legions Con, we have great friends that bring stuff to show off, and it works both ways. It helps us to fill the shelves and show off all the cool stuff, but it also helps to get their stuff to a show. Like, if you're not like going to buy a whole table, you just have 1 or 2 customs, we invite people to come and do that and they can show their stuff off. And at Legions Con that works, but at some other shows there's just not a lot of people to do that. So like, for example, like at ZolaCon, Jesse was there with me. I asked him to bring stuff and he brought stuff, and Patrick and Nate, because they're local and they can do that. Everything else has to get filled up with, like, I call them kind of like filler figures. So I have like literally cases filled with just like figures. And like that morning that we're setting up, we're like literally building stuff and putting it all out. So it's kind of funny because I probably have a medium to larger size collection, if you count that.
Yeah.
But everything else is just a disaster. So sorry if I'm going on too much, but
no, you're fine
at all. In the last 2 years, I've honestly, I do keep everything on card. So I know that when it comes time to set these displays up, I didn't pilfer from them. I didn't like rip this figure apart. So I have like shelving that I have everything in to just keep. And that's like my no touch pile. I don't go into that and like mess with anything, because you know what happens if I cheat, then I'm grabbing a head off of something, and I go, 6 months from now, if I go to, I do want to display it, he's headless.
Right.
And it's something that you can't get again. So I do that. And that is my min on card dilemma. And I'm kind of a completist with it. I would love to have one of everything. I wasn't that way in the beginning. I thought I was the guy that was like, I like these goblins. I'm just going to get goblins. And I'm like, I like Zelona's flock. I'm just going to get that. Well, you need the vampires too. And then, finish that. And I'm like, well, now this is coming out. So yeah, it's, you know how it is. You guys all know how it is.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about your display is because you have so many different artists that are showing their stuff in your little setup, you get a wide variety in terms of like the different aesthetics that are created. I mean, a lot of times if you go to somebody's table, you can kind of see, they have a certain style. And because you have so many different artists that are there, you've got multiple different styles. So like some of those pictures that Jesse was showing, like you get some crazy things like the trolls and the got some fur and the big heads and stuff. And I know just recently you put out that the elephant head.
Yep.
Like that thing is massive. And I've seen a few people do that in a couple different colors to match it with the trolls.
Yeah. And like something like that, I'm going to ask Jeremy, like, because he's going to be at ZoloCon, he's going to be at Legion's Con. I'm going to ask him if he's not going to show it, bring it so I can show it at my booth.
Right.
And then I'll end up like packing it mistakenly in my stuff and taking it. That's what I did with the Billy head and the troll head, the rider, because he painted that. That was probably like almost a year and a half, almost 2 years ago that he did that.
The one where it's got the mount or whatever.
Yeah. And I was like, he had to leave the show early, and I'm like, he's like, well, just take it. He's like, just take it with you, and I'll get it back from you later. It's been like almost 2 years. I'm not giving it back. He told me at ZoloCon this year, he said, just keep it. He's like, no, just fine. Just keep it.
That's funny. Yeah. So this is, for those of you who haven't seen, this is kind of an example of what Len's display looks like there at a show. So
yeah, it's fun too, because you have a show like this, like ZoloCon, where there's a really strong Legion's presence. A lot of fans come out, and I can see like Carver Customs just said hello to us in the chat. And I had his lights and I had his card next to him, so he gets to be in Philadelphia, right? Like so, and Deshaw, oh my god,
Alexander,
Drunk Gizmo Customs.
Yeah.
So I have his fountain, and we have it, and I bring it to the shows, and I have his card next to it, so people see where it's from, and they can go on a website and find it.
Did have a comment I wanted to pull up here. NYC Figure Fanatic. Don't usually get Legions at retail, but for the chance to get curated parts from Len, count me in.
Awesome. So, thank you.
And then Dave's agreeing that you have a crazy display. So
yeah, thanks, Dave.
And this is one I wanted to bring up, and Jonathan just mentioned too, talking about the inbox display. So at Legion's Con, you had a Dio that you built in a troll box that got a lot of attention. Yeah. Could you talk a little bit about your idea of creating that, and are you going to have anything like that this year?
Well, I was cleaning up, so I was throwing out boxes, right? We all get to that point where we just have all these empty boxes, and the troll boxes are huge. And I think it was the Brontis box, which I won from the Four Horsemen at the very first Legion's Con. So at the very first one ever, the one that was held in like a little closet, it was after a Toy Con on a Sunday night, I believe, raining, horrible. And it was, there were so few people there, but it was awesome. And the Horsemen did a raffle, and they had all the trolls out at the time. So I think it was everything but the ice troll, because it wasn't out yet. And everyone was pumped, because even by that point they were gone. Like you couldn't get trolls like anywhere. And I was really new. I only had like maybe 1 or 2 figures, and I won. I never win anything. That's like Anthony's job and yours, Curtis, to win.
Was it just like a drawing, or?
Yeah, it was like a tickets, classic raffle tickets. Everyone who like went got one, and I was like so excited. But it was funny because beforehand, I said to everyone I was there with, I said, man, if I win that thing, I'm opening it up as soon as I get it. Just because I think at the time he was selling for like $300. Like he was really high value.
Right.
And I'm like, man, if I win, I'm picking Brontis and he's getting open. And as soon as CB handed it to me, that's exactly what I did. And I think I kind of got a little enemies because some people were looking at me like annoyed and other people were like loving it. So like, yeah, I ripped them out and took them out and I just played with them the rest of the time. But that was the box I was going to go throw away. And when I looked at it, I'm like, I'm like, this box looks like, it's like a window box. Like this would like house like a full scene for like the normal scale figures. And it stuck in my head and I was thinking about it. And I was also thinking, like, man, everyone's like focusing on huge. Everyone's like, I'm bringing the biggest diorama to Legion's Con. Like, right? Like it's all you see, everyone like just bigger, bigger, bigger. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to do the smallest diorama. And I think I ran it by you, Curtis, right? Like I showed you some like ideas with it. I'm like, I think this could work. And of course it just fit to have like a really cool cavernous scene. And I used some real crystal in it and lighting, and it just kept going and going and going. And yeah, I was pretty happy with it. It was pretty cool. And I had to put Thistlethorn in it because it's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
I stopped myself from saying it.
It definitely got a lot of attention. So any ideas, any crazy things that you're working on for this year? I mean, if you got to keep it a surprise, that's cool. But anything like that you're kind of working on?
I got one or two things in my brain I've been kind of thinking of. A lot of people, I think, they saw that troll box thing and I saw a few people did displays of the Fury's 4 sets because that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do each con figure exclusive in its box as almost like a diorama thing, but I haven't got a chance to it. It's been so hectic. So I'd like to say I will, but I can't say that I definitely will. I did throw that troll box together the week before Legion's Con, so we'll see what happens. I work pretty good under pressure.
It came out pretty good for doing it that late in the game, that's for sure.
Thanks, man.
So
yeah, at first when you brought up that comment about the inbox display, I was thinking of this picture, which was right behind where I was stationed most of the time at ZoloCon.
Yeah,
and it was this was really great for people who are new to the customizing and new to Mythic Legions, because they'd come over and see this and they're like, oh, what are these? And I'd be like, well, these are the customs you can do once you go over here to the Horseman table, because this was like right in between the end of Len's table and the Horseman table where the line was starting. So having them, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm pointing at, the goblin and the skeleton like in their box there from the Deluxe Legion Builder line, with like the goblin on the left there, it's got the plain gray just printed finished pieces ready to paint, and then a painted one next to it. I just thought it was a really cool way to show people the stages. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was after doing a few shows, and you literally lose your voice like on the really busy ones, because you're kind of teaching everyone like what it is, like what they are. The studio's so busy with what they did with just selling figures that they're not like, they're not telling everyone like that you can pop them apart. They're doing it when they can. So it helps, like when we're there and we can like take people, like you said, you literally almost take them by the hand and you say, or if they see us first and they're like, what is this? All these awesome figures. Like, I want to buy that one. And they're like, well, you can make it. And then you have to show them. You literally walk them to the Horseman's table. It starts here. So I figured let's put it all together in one little boot spot there that shows everyone. And that would be the difference. So like, you wouldn't see me doing that at Legion's Con, because that's not a teaching show. Like I even in my brain have terms for them, because there's some shows that it's like, that's what you're doing. You're teaching people.
But it could be because your breakout session
I thought the breakout session was a lot of fun. I was also shocked at the number of people that had no clue about breaking these things apart or how easy it was, or like we opened eyes that weekend that surprised me. Like I thought it was just going to be a fun time, but the amount of people that it was their first time ever, like popping and swapping, was pretty awesome. So I don't know, like they haven't really talked about breakout sessions and stuff yet this year. I mean, do you know?
Oh yeah, we're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know the exact time, details, rooms, things.
Gotcha.
I think Jeremy had said on his last show or one of the recent shows that the breakout rooms might be bigger, but in a different area. But we're definitely going to do some kind of similar type of event as we did last year. You know,
awesome.
Hopefully, you know, and you guys both will be involved, of course, the way you were last year, if you want to. And we'll
absolutely.
And you know, I want to have the same team. I want to have the same team. Like I want all the same guys, like David and you know Lewis and who else was with Patrick. You know, Jeremy
was there, obviously.
If he has the time. If he has the time, he loves it. So you know he'll find the time. And that's going to be. That should be fun. That should be fun. A little bigger, a little different this year.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Looks like, from Joe Wolfton. I didn't catch that in time. Wolfton is a great resource for beginners.
Sorry, Curtis.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, I got a message from Joe earlier today. He got to go to the Mythic Meetup today, and I believe, you can correct me, Joe, it's one of the first times he got to go to like an in-person event, meeting people. And,
that's awesome.
Or at least that big of a one. So,
and then
again, I could be wrong, but
Zombie was laughing at her double, absolutely at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
you know,
all right. So Len, what other things you've been enjoying collecting toy wise lately? Like what things
just lately
you see that you go, yeah, I want to have that?
I'll tell you what, man, I like it's like I don't want to say it's like herpes, but it is. that Star Wars, man, it comes and goes. Like that Star Wars bug comes and goes with me. Damn, like that was my thing as a kid, my sci-fi high adventure. I love that. It comes and goes, and I'm on that kick now. Like I started after Mando finished, I started rewatching Clone Wars again. So I'm like, oh, I want clones. I need more of this, and it's tough because that Black Series stuff is, it's a little expensive. If I can grab it on clearance, I'll grab it. It's not like something like Mythic or some Mezco where I just get it because I'll get it. Like I lackadaisically collect the Star Wars, but man, I love it. Like I really like it.
And Anthony in the chat says that you collect totes
for days.
What did you think of the new Black Series stuff they revealed? Did you see the stuff they revealed this week?
I did. I think I liked the young Ahsoka. I always say it wrong. Say it for me, Jesse.
Right. Ahsoka.
My family yells at me constantly because I say it wrong. They're always just like, "Are you doing it on purpose?" I'm like, "No, it's like, yeah, okay." So that was a cool figure because that's like the post tube top era her, which is like the better her, like right? Yeah. Like I have a whole theory on that. We won't get into that. So I really like that version. What else did we see? We saw the
there was
an ARC Trooper is awesome.
Yeah, I think that's an exclusive to Walmart. Fives.
Yeah.
There was the Phase 2 Clone Trooper with the removable helmet, so you can see the clone face under it. Was it the General Grievous's
What is the difference with that General Grievous than what I've seen before?
It's like a game version, so he doesn't have his cape, I don't think. And there might be a slight color variation, but it's basically just another way to rebox him. There was the Darth Malgus from the games.
Yeah, see, I'll never get like anything like that because they don't.
Yeah, I don't he's really cool looking because I just like that he's got like that stocky, like thick build to him, but I'm not attached to the character to get him.
Yeah, if I don't know what they are right away, like I'm not gonna like go out and grab them unless it's something I want for fodder and on clearance somewhere.
Yeah, Ahsoka and the clone ones are the only ones that are really jumping out to me from these, like that I want to get.
Yeah.
But there's some cool stuff, and I liked. I agree with where'd it go? Kevin said about the Hammerhead, Doc Ondar from the
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge. That's really cool. I hope we'll get a regular Hammerhead at
Yeah.
some point soon. But
I didn't realize what that was when I first saw it. I thought I didn't see it right. I guess I'm just old, and they had the staff next to him looked like a lightsaber, so I thought it was like some kind of something from one of the shows they just talked about, like maybe like one of the what is it, like the early stage, like
Jedi. the High Republic.
Yeah, like a High Republic Jedi. I thought it maybe was because with the robes. And then when I found out that it was tied in with this, I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Do the 3 3/4 do anything for you guys, or is it you're just
I think they're cool, but I don't collect them anymore at this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think I collect anything in 3 3/4 anymore. There was
like I'll get if there's an Ahsoka, I'll get it. Unless it's just a repackage of one I already have, but like I like having like all the different versions of her. That's the only thing really 3 3/4 I get.
That figure's cool looking.
Yeah, the Tusken Chief from Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I like the coloring on that.
Yeah,
that's cool. Soft goods look nice.
Yeah, like I said, that's damn Star Wars, man. It just grabs me, you know. Yeah. If I see it, like I'm like, oh man. I'm very good at not like getting it at full blown retail type of situation, because it's just $30-some for a Black Series. It's just crazy to me.
I'll say this: if I see that Mara Jade out in a store, I wasn't gonna get her because she's not in the movies at this point.
Yeah, but even I know who she is.
Yeah, but that the face on the pictures do not look like it. Looks so much better in person. My friend got one at a show a couple weeks ago, and I was like, it's not even that the pictures don't do it justice. Those pictures don't like look good at all. So
yeah, I'm pretty picky with the head sculpts with these guys. So like, even if it's a character I want, like Fennec Shan is, I pick on me if you will, but I like Book of Boba Fett. I like her as an actress. I don't like the character, but that face is horrible on the figure, and I didn't buy it, even though I wanted it. But the face.
This thing's kind of fun.
No, what's wrong with you? Get that.
It's fun. What? There's
some scary Wookiees.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? It's fun.
No, the holiday themed ones I think are so. Ugh.
I'm sorry.
Like,
so you don't like this either?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty weird looking.
I mean, the first wave they did, I thought it was funny, but the fact that they keep doing it has really like soured me, because they had like ugly sweaters printed across their stormtrooper armor. Like it looked like, knit sweaters. And
I'm gonna say Biker Scout is my favorite stormtrooper look.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that was my favorite stormtrooper. Like I love that one. It was so cool. Now they're jerks because they beat up poor little Grogu. Stupid Biker Scouts.
Look at that. That Han looks good with the soft goods.
But this isn't new. This has been out at least 3 different ways right now. So there's the 40th, which is at least the 3rd time they've offered this exact figure.
Yeah.
And they'll probably do an archive version of it like next year or the year after.
See, and again, I'm picky with it too. Like I'm not going to get multiples of the same character.
That face looks better in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah. So I've been loving that. Of course. Well, you said besides Mythic. Oh, I got that little robot too. That yellow loader one from Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's awesome. Did any of you guys get him?
I did not get him.
He was on clearance at Target for like $9, and I'm like, what the hell? He's great. He's super articulated. He's a little taller than the other ones, so he probably will fit in with Cosmic pretty well. He needs a wash. He's super clean looking. I don't know why. Because even in these pictures, he's more shaded, like dirtier.
Yeah, there he is
in these pictures than in real life.
Yeah, the yellow on him. My friend got one. It feels like such like, oh, that's just yellow plastic.
Yeah. But like I think it's fun. It's a fun little figure for $9.
Yeah, hopefully I'll find him at Ollie's at some point.
That's my thing too.
Well,
Like I just can't do full on a lot of these.
I sent this to Dooch as a potential lightning round question for Offworld, but I don't think he's ever going to use it. So I'll just go throw it out here. Favorite lightsaber ever? All of Star Wars. Movies, cartoons, comics, whatever. Favorite lightsaber.
Go ahead, Len. You're the guest.
Favorite, like the one that I would bring into combat, or favorite as in one like that brings back the best like
the one that you see that you're like, yeah, like it does it for you. As soon as you see it, like that's the one.
Well, there's different, Curtis. Like there's ones that I would want to yield and use, but then there's
one that has the
like,
most emotional attachment.
Luke Skywalker's. I mean, you know, his
which one?
The final one from Return of the Jedi.
The green one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, Luke's, when you're a kid and you're that age, Luke's the hero, man. He's shoots out of R2's head. You're like, oh.
Jesse?
I'm gonna cheat because I have to. My favorite lightsabers are Ahsoka's during her Rebels era, which is what she's using in Mando. I love. Normally, I'm all about the bright colors, but I just love that she's got white blades. And I love that they're like they've got like a little bit of a curve to them. I really I bought a 3D printed set off of eBay and painted them up a couple years ago. There's no like blades to stick in them. It's just the hilts. It was like $20 or something. But I like those because she's she's tied with Rogue for like my all time favorite fictional character, period. So I got to say hers, and people can hate me all they want for this, but I love Rey's saber from the end of Rise of Skywalker, how she took apart her staff and made it that I love that yellow blade. Like I love green, I love blue. Obviously it's what I make our logos out of, but the fact that when in Attack of the Clones, when all the Jedi show up to start fighting on Geonosis and every single one of them were green and blue except for Mace Windu's, I was so disappointed. So disappointed.
So I think that I think Darth Maul's dual saber is cool. I like that one a lot, but for me, it's got to be Luke's green. I'm right with Len. Like something about seeing that green lightsaber come on for the first time. It was like, oh shit! Like I don't know what it was, but it was like it's green. Like I didn't expect it, and it just. I don't know. It's something iconic about that green lightsaber that just it probably is more than anything else in Star Wars that if I see that green lightsaber, like I'm going to watch Star Wars the rest of the day. So, yeah.
Well, just seeing that show up like in the sand and like the sand and the bright blue sky on Tatooine, like that was just such a cool color because we'd only seen the red and the blue kind of white one at that point. So yeah, that I do love the green one, which my third favorite would be Qui-Gon Jinn's because that was the first one I ever had as a toy. Like
quite a few different answers here. Steve says Revens. You got Darth Maul from Brian.
I don't think he has enough L's there.
Yeah, I think he needs a few more. Let's see. Obi-Wan's is for Anthony. I'm not sure if he's talking about the old man Obi-Wan or young man. I mean, I guess it's pretty much the same lightsaber, but Obi-Wan episode 4. Okay, so a little bit more specific for Danny. We got Jonathan saying Mace purple one, which that's kind of cool, but Count Dooku.
I love Dooku's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool when I saw that because of the hilt being just different and it made so much sense. It's just really cool. That's a character I've grown to appreciate a lot. Like the more
like the curved
cycle
handle
around on everything. Yeah.
Patrick saying Dooku and Obi-Wan. Let's see, man. It got a lot of responses. Darth Vader. Got Raphael saying Darth Vader. That's classic, you know. I have no idea who that is.
He's from the video game The Jedi Survivor.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of I believe it's a double, or it can be a double-bladed one like Maul's. But I think because
Gotcha.
it's the game, you can choose how
Okay.
you use it.
And then Kevin saying Dark Saber, which I was surprised I didn't hear more Dark Saber out there actually.
Have you watched all of Mando season 3, Len?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I've watched it twice.
Okay.
My wife's out there watching it now, and I'm like,
awesome.
oh.
I gotta talk to Jesse and Curtis.
I do love the Darksaber. I do think it's really cool.
Mhm.
I was so excited at the end of season 1 to see it cut through.
Oh hell yeah!
That TIE fighter. I was like, I lost it. My mom, because I watched it with my mom, and we're talking on the phone, and she's like, what's going on? I was like, that's the Darksaber. She's like, I have no idea what that means. Because she's not made it through Clone Wars and Rebels. So
my wife's the same way. She never watched, so she didn't know any of that either, and it was the same thing.
Yeah, I do think it's really cool. I want to see it as much as I like the attachment to like Bo and what would they do with Rebels in it and Bo-Katan and everything. I think I'd prefer to see the earlier, like the creation of that, how it was the first Mandalorian to become a Jedi, and how he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this my own way. Like, I think that would give me a much bigger appreciation for it, seeing it like in the peak of its.
Were you horribly upset with its fate at the end of?
No, I actually really like that.
Me too. Yeah, I agree.
Because now the mysticism of the leader is gone, and it can be the person who deserves to be the leader, not because they won a fight.
Right. And it's like Mando says to her earlier in that prior episode, like, it means nothing to my people. We don't even know what it is. Like, so who cares?
Yeah.
So did you like season 3 as much as the first 2 seasons, or more or less? Or?
Oh yeah. Yeah. But for different reasons, you know, it was just a different story. This was like a lot of like, you know, obviously this was almost like more Clone Wars. Like if you, I could see why if you weren't really into like the Clone Wars stuff or the Rebel stuff, you might not like this as much because of the Mandalorian aspects of it. But those were things that we kind of wanted to know more about. So they teased us in the first season when they mentioned like Mandalore being glassed, like, and it's destroyed, and you're like, if you're a Clone Wars guy, you're like, what? Like, what happened? right, Jesse? Or am I wrong? Like, you correct me.
No, because I was like, what? It's glass. I was like, what? The Night of 1,000 Tears. Like, what's that? Like,
exactly.
what? Like,
so they teased us. They teased the Clone Wars people, the fans of the entire like mythos of Star Wars. Those teases were there, and if you didn't know that they were being teased, when this season 3 gets dropped on you and you're like, what is this? Who now? What? This is the Bo-Katan show? This is the Bo-Katan show. Bo-Katan show. Well, yeah, it kind of is, but it isn't. It's just telling a different story. And I think that's fun.
It's Endgame. It's Avengers. Or the first Avengers, and you're bringing all these characters that have been building up. Maybe you haven't seen all that stuff, but you know, when that first Avengers came out, not everybody had seen all of the individual hero movies.
Yep.
Probably. I mean, the big fans had, but you know, I really liked what it did, and I liked the way it wrapped up and how it's got him back to kind of where he was in season 1, but now he's accepting that Grogu is with him now. Like, they're together.
Yep.
And I think we'll get more of that more personal stuff if when they do more.
Right, more like season 1 type things, and I'm sure we'll have little hints and drops of what's going on out in the inner rim and different areas where, you know, we'll get little things, because he's still going to be like operating in that world of like the higher, you know, because this is the bridge story between the sequels, right, and Jedi, yes. So this is like our bridge, and this is the same thing that Filoni did with Clone Wars. He bridged 2 big stories, and his driving character was in Clone Wars
Ahsoka,
right? And it had to be because he couldn't take any other known character and bookend her in a beginning and an end. Like, so he wanted to tell his own character's story, and through her eyes, we took the journey between those 2 story points. And we got to see a lot of cool things and build up a super awesome character along the way. And that still fit in to end the way it ended. which is like one of the greatest endings of any series ever.
Yeah.
And right, so then we got a little bit more of it in Rebels, and he ties some stuff in there. And now it's jumping here, and he's doing the same thing with Mando with the Jin. What is it? Jen Garin?
Din
What's
Djarin.
his name? Din Djarin. So
Yeah.
Din is his Ahsoka from Clone Wars, and he's kind of
Yeah.
using it the same way. And I think that's just awesome.
I think he's going to use the two of them since she's in the current timeline with Mando with her show, which he flat out said, I think in an interview this week that, you might as well just call it Rebels season 5, which I'm fine with that. Like, I don't care whose name is on the show. It's Star Wars. Like, yes, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that like he's the star of the show and he wasn't even on set for the entire season.
Wild.
His whoever's in the suit did all the stuff and he just did the voice work for the entire season. Like,
I don't think that's true. I think he was. I know he doesn't do the stunts, and there's some stuff where like the gunslinger stuff is someone else, but
no,
yeah,
dude,
I think
even when he's walking through the streets,
he
it's
was not there
him
at all. But
yeah, because that body double that's John Wayne's son, and you could tell they hired him for that walk. Like, so when he's walking around, that's not him either. Like, I don't think he's there like ever, except when they took the helmet off.
Well, I mean, they have to do something with him because like all the actors and actresses on the set like talk about working with him. So maybe it's a whole conspiracy. But
I mean, he was there in season 1 and 2 because we saw him take his helmet off a few times.
Yeah, like Cookie said, there's 2 guys in the suit. Yeah, and I think I heard that in the season finale, both those guys were some of the extras as the other Mandos too. Like they used them. They used a lot of people that got to take their helmets off Mandos, like the other guys.
He says 1 for action and 1 to walk. Imagine telling the action one that your walk isn't good enough. Like you can do all the action stuff, but your walk is shit. Like, we got to bring in another guy.
Yeah. Well, it's John Wayne's son. They wanted that Western feel.
Yeah.
So they get a cowboy, like someone that knows cowboys more than anyone.
You can slide and
that's
jump
why they got
and twist and shoot. But man, your walk
better not twirl around or people lose their mind.
I think I saw that one of them was in the dark man. What's his name? At the end, the finale fight scene.
Moff Gideon's dark armor.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I think that one of the extras in Moff Gideon's armor and the other extras in Mando's armor. So they're actually like fighting each other, and that's why it's like pretty good choreographed like thing. I think I saw that somewhere.
That's neat.
I know.
Star Wars.
I know there's something about the guy who plays Axe Woves too. Like, there's some other connection with him, being a stunt guy or something too. I think the Mandalorian that was like the cat that took over when they left Bo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it was Cookie said earlier that he loves Bo-Katan. I mean, like, I was not a huge Katie Sackhoff fan when people were petitioning for her to be Captain Marvel. I was like, nah, I'm not into that. But, like, I love that character, but it was always a voice. But now seeing her get to play it, yeah, I'd like, that would have been a good choice.
Yeah, I was a big Battlestar guy. I love Battlestar Galactica. Like, I love that. It was one of the, I think that at the peak of Battlestar, like, it was one of the best science fiction shows that were ever put out. It's been imitated so many times, and a lot of their stories have been retold that it becomes old hat, kind of like with The Matrix, right? Like, yeah, if you watch The Matrix now for the first time, it might not have the same feel as when we watched it for the first time years ago, because there's just so people copied it and they took from it, and it doesn't seem as original. But with Battlestar, like, the way they told stories on that show was amazing, and she was a great character, very good actress in it too.
I want to address this because that second to last episode was called The Spies, right? And we never got like a clear reveal of who the spies were. The only thing that we really got was the Imperial officer that was pretending to be with the New Republic,
right?
The girl that was reporting to Moff Gideon. Like, they were spying, like they were relaying stuff. So I mean, there's that. But then I saw someone put, and this might be a stretch, and I apologize for anyone who's not religious at all, but like they related it back to like a biblical story where like the spies went into Jericho, like they went in to like see what was going on before the rest of the people came in. And I thought that was that might be a stretch, but I was like, that kind of lines up. Because they sent like a portion of the crew of the Mandalorians in first before like the whole fleet came in and everything. So,
I've seen some people say the spies were, Moff Gideon, like being there,
right?
Like that. But I don't know if I buy that as much as what you're saying. I've seen the biblical reference too, which I think the same media was trying to tie the whole season into that, which I could kind of see, like the whole type of Exodus thing.
Danny.
True.
Great. Side note, it's off topic, but either of you guys ever played the Oculus game, Vader Immortal?
No.
Oh man, that thing's pretty cool. I mean, you're talking like being able to, in a 3D world, like use a lightsaber and like throw it at things and like pull it back to yourself with the Force and stuff. It's pretty awesome. So if you know somebody that has an Oculus or you get an Oculus, check out Vader Immortal. It's pretty awesome. So,
I'm afraid to play any sort of VR games because I've seen videos of people where they're like, they punch the TV or they knock their kid out or they kick a dog across the room. Like, yeah. I'm like, that's going to be me. Like
you basically like with the controller that you have, you draw like a circle on the floor, or it can put like a regular circle around you and where it's a safe zone. And if you get close to the borders of that, then it drops like the thing that you're viewing in front of you. You see the wall, you see whatever. So that's cool. You really can't do that unless you draw the border specifically into walls and stuff. Like you would have to do something stupid in order to do that.
Well, I am me.
But like I said, if you know somebody that has an Oculus or you get one, Vader Immortal, really fun. Like you're talking learning how to use a lightsaber and fighting things and throwing it and using the Force. It's pretty cool. So
bring it to Legion's Con, man.
Okay.
We'll all play with it. We won't leave the room.
Yeah, figure out how to hook it up to Tactics if it's out by then. Danny's asking, since you were talking about Battlestar, I've not watched enough to be able to answer this. I know the name Adama, but did that axe maneuver remind you?
Oh, definitely. It's a classic, though, right? It's kind of like the Holden maneuver.
I love that moment. It was weird. Like
it makes sense.
It makes sense in the moment, but like the things, like they forced the scenario to happen that way in a weird way. But that was horrible. That was horrible. I loved what she did with that. I thought that was really cool.
So not to geek out on Battlestar, but there was a amazing episode of Battlestar that was I want to say it was called like 30, because it was a thing where they could only I can't remember. They could only be in warp for 30 minutes. And as soon as they would come out of warp, the Cylons were there and would just start bombarding them. And they would have to warp. They would have to go into, I'm saying warp like Star Trek, but they would have to go into light speed for 30, come out, get bombarded. And it went on for like a whole like day. And you kind of like live that like, see, I'm right. It was 30. You like live that like experience with them. And it was just so traumatizing because like they couldn't figure out how to get out of it. It reminded me a lot of that like whole Star Wars, that middle movie, where they're trying to get away. And I felt like that was kind of a ripoff.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely. I know you have talked about it. Danny has talked about it. Other people have talked about it. So, like, I'll get to Battlestar at some point.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah.
I have. Not,
I would move it up on your list. I think you really like it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've not seen it either. I'll have to.
No, you don't watch
check it out.
Like it.
Okay.
You won't appreciate it.
I won't like it. All right. Sounds good. I removed from the list.
Did you get out to any movies or anything lately?
Me? No, I don't go anywhere.
Okay.
I just told you I'm rewatching Clone Wars again.
Well, I mean,
I've been watching Supernatural. I never watched that before.
okay.
Yeah.
What are you
That's
thinking?
fun. Oh, I love it. I love it.
How many seasons in are you?
Oh, I think we're on season 4.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like, knowing there's so many seasons is kind of crazy, but it's fun because at night, like my wife and I are watching it, and it's fun. It's not too deep. It's not too much. It's got that fun feel to it. So yeah, we're definitely enjoying it.
Plus, Dean's amazing. So
I know.
Yeah.
I never watched it regularly. The only one I ever remember watching, because I happened to look at the screen when the title came up, was
fuck you, Trevor.
That's why I told you not to watch it, Curtis. I know what Curtis likes.
Was I think it's called like Chris Angel is a douchebag.
That's the one we just watched last night. Okay. We literally just watched it last night.
That would crack me because it's is it like a Vegas performer, like a stage magician, and I just saw that and I just laughed for 5 minutes and I was like, I gotta watch this episode.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny with the show is that if you're like, I don't say if you watch a lot of TV, but if you kind of remember actors and things, there's so many character actors that they bring into that for one episode, like that Chris Angel one. Mm-hmm. The main magician, who was an older gentleman who was like at the end of his time being a magician, and he is this like character actor that's been in everything, all the way back to like Matlock. Okay. And when you look at his IMDb movie list, it's crazy because you look at him and you're like, oh, I know that guy. And that's what we do every episode of Supernatural. I'm like,
that's great.
Oh man, that's the guy from Stargate, or that's the person from this. Because they shoot it in Canada, so they grab any extras they can, which is like tons of the nerd shows we watch are done in Canada at the same time. So it's just funny because we're constantly like, who is that? Who is that?
That's great.
Yeah, the early seasons of Supernatural was very much that kind of Monster of the Week vibe. Later seasons, it becomes more of like this, overarching story across the seasons. But the early seasons were very much kind of, one monster each week. And Jonathan's talking about X-Files. I actually never watched X-Files, really? So I probably need to do that. I hear a lot of good things on that.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You will probably get bored in a couple episodes based off of things you have said, but it's cool because that show, they do a good job of, I think later on they got to calling them, there was kind of the monster of the week, the freak of the week episode, but then there was what they call it, the mythology episodes, where it's like building this bigger story, and like sometimes you don't realize that that's tying into the bigger story until later on. I came into it late, but I think I ended up getting to see like the last half of the series. It became like a thing Sunday night when I was in college, and I wasn't going to church every Sunday night with my parents. I would watch X-Files.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting that on the list.
X-Files was definitely one of the first shows to do that mix of what you just said, Jesse, with the mythos versus Creature of the Week, because it was literally Creature of the Week versus your mythos episodes, and then I think the progression as the seasons went on, it was almost like everyone was almost more mythos, to where like that's where most shows then went to, because like prior to that time, if you look at some of those old shows, they were very much self-contained shows. Like no show had really like an overreaching theme through the whole season, unless it was a soap opera or like Dallas or some show like that. You had Fantasy Island didn't have an overreaching theme through the whole thing.
It's like every episode of He-Man just reset.
Exactly. Yeah. So X-Files really broke the mold on that a lot. Like they really were one of the first ones to do that. And, it kind of showed everyone what like the more sci-fi type shows can be. Because there were some like sci-fi type ones that did it before, like the old Battlestar Galactica or like ones like that. But they kind of like made it their own. It's fun. Yeah. It's really neat.
I love that came out in time. And I think that kind of storytelling made an impact immediately, because I know it came out a couple years later and it's a cartoon, but I think that really affected, that type of storytelling really affected Gargoyles, I think, because I don't know if you've ever watched that series, Len, but it's really,
I heard it's phenomenal though.
It's really good. I mean, it's like anything. There are some episodes that are kind of like, all right, that was kind of but like the way they build up the mythology and then they get into this whole lore about like it's like for a cartoon in the 90s, it was, you know, like even Batman, which I love the Batman animated series, there usually wasn't like an ongoing plot. It was the bad guy of the week or whatever. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Joe says that I may like it better than Step Up or Standoff or whatever it's called. It is Step Up, and we will be doing our review of that this Friday on OffWorld. So tune in.
What the hell?
To hear my thoughts on Step Up.
Is that a dance movie?
It is the dance franchise known as Step Up. There's a huge community out there of people that really were wanting us to discuss it. So we are going to talk about that this Friday because we want to make the fans happy. And then Cookie's talking about Buffy and Angel. I loved both of those series, especially the later. It seems like both shows kind of started slow the first two seasons or so, and then they really hit their stride towards the end. I think mostly because they both shows gave Spike more time at the end, which he's the best character. So
yeah, Buffy and Angel were great. They, you know, that's one of the reasons I never watched Supernatural is because I felt like they were trying to replace my Buffy and Angel with Supernatural. So I was bitter against that. I'm like, I'm not watching that shit because that's what happened. Like a lot of the fan bases, a lot of the Buffy Angel fan base jumped to Supernatural because it was a nice progression at the time. One ended, the other one was starting maybe or getting its groove. But I'm like bitter like that. I was like, no, I'm not watching them. It only took me how many years?
Well, better late than never.
Yeah.
Yes. Danny, I'll clarify this. Danny, the reason we're talking about Step Up is because it was my week to do the Have You Ever. If you're not watching Offworld with Curtis, me, Dooch, and Scavarna, at the end of each or later in the episode, we all have a Have You Ever, and we address the one from the previous week. And someone gets picked to pick the next thing. And I wanted to make them hate me. So I said Step Up because I enjoy those movies. And I think Curtis might like them too now.
We will
tune in Friday night to find out.
Friday. So,
who's in that? Who was in the first one?
The first one's Channing Tatum and his ex-wife. Jenna Dewan or Dewan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Steve,
Melanie
I
Griffith.
do not think we're going to be talking about Bring It On.
Rachel
but
Griffith.
if it comes up as somebody's Have You Ever, then maybe we will.
Oh man, Bring It On is fantastic.
All right.
Come on, Elijah Dushku in that. Like, there's some great one-liners. No,
she was great. Angel and Buffy.
It's not
Angel.
a high-quality, award-winning movie, but like that entertained the crap out of me when I saw it.
Okay. All right.
I like
we're
what I
talking
like
about space hamsters. I don't
think they're referencing Ice Pirates, which has
Ice-
been
Ice
30
Pirates is awesome.
or more years since I've seen. So I don't think I've ever sat and watched that.
You haven't
That
sat
was the
and
first
watched Ice
movie.
Pirates?
That was the first movie I ever saw in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's old. That movie's old. I was really young. I was too young. Like, I actually remember that I was too young for it because I didn't know anything that was going on.
I like when they get stuck in that one part where like they're like aging really fast and stuff, and
I hate that part.
everything's going. I love it.
That part made like that part like freaked me out as a kid. It's literally the only part of the movie I even remember.
And the frog lady like trying to flirt with Jason the whole time. That's a good one.
Joe, you are never going to see me dance. It's not even, there's not a tier high enough on Patreon. I don't want to go to prison, and I'm pretty sure that
get
would
like
happen.
100 Patreon members.
No. You don't want to see, you know that episode of Seinfeld, which I'm not even that big of a fan of, even though I know and can admit it's a funny show, where Elaine dances.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Classic.
I am infinitely worse.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Danny's got it on the Ice Pirates. The robot castration line is way worse in Ice Pirates.
I either
Yeah.
didn't saw that part, or I have blocked it from memory, or
They
I
got 'em-
didn't
they're
understand
like
what was
on
going
a
on.
conveyor belt, and there's like this robot.
I remember that.
It's
That's what
like-
I meant when I said like I was too young. Like I was young, and I remember my mom and dad were like, "Oh shit!" Like I remember them being like distressed with it a little. Like
yeah,
and
it's
I'm
like chomping
"What?"
down, and they're getting
Yeah.
ready to go through it, and then they get saved at the last minute.
Yep.
So,
Nope. I have no memory of that. Good times.
So, Len, are you going to see Guardians 3? That is new and out at the theaters. Is that something you're doing, or you wait till it's
I
streaming?
wait.
Or
Yeah, I wait for everything. I don't really go. I couldn't, guys. I couldn't even tell you the last movie I saw the movie theater.
nice.
Yeah, and this is not a COVID thing. This is like prior. Like we just not a huge like.
You're not a movie theater guy, huh?
Yeah, I think it was. I want to say it was like a Star Trek, like one of the Abrams. You know the ones we actually like. We went to see it in IMAX, and it was like overwhelming. So
the ones where you can see the ships actually moving in Star Trek.
Yeah, and it was like surround. It was around you, like it was.
Okay.
And it was like, whoa, it was a little much.
Carlos says we brought him in with Monster Squad, and now we force
Let's stop.
on him.
That's a different show. That's a different show. We've talked about that enough.
It's still funny though. JG says he will show you to dance. So there you go. You got a dance teacher.
I feel like we've got like a nice camaraderie going here, JG. I don't want to make you hate me, and that's exactly what will happen if you try to teach me to dance.
I watched a movie yesterday. What is that? What is it called now?
Must be nice to have time off.
I know, right? It was good. It was that stupid one. It just came out not too long ago. With Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I want to see that.
Oh my goodness. It was all that I could want in a bad Nicolas Cage movie. With him playing himself.
Whoa, Hedgehog's
Hedgehog,
off the deep end here.
Yeah, he is. He's like going old school.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I highly recommend it. If you want a funny, stupid, bad Nicolas Cage movie.
I can't do funny, stupid, bad Nicolas Cage because I lived through the era when he was like the height of action heroes. I mean, like Con Air, The Rock. I love them.
Would I still Gone in 60 Seconds?
Oh, dude, I love those movies.
Gone in 60 Seconds is great.
Freaking great.
Yeah,
but like, and I can't take. I get that he's a joke, but like, I can't take. Like, I don't know if I can do that. My kid thinks it's hilarious.
Here's the thing with Nick Cage, like he makes some weird choices, but like he is a good actor. He just like he doesn't try to make it. It's not like Johnny Depp. I feel like Johnny Depp like picks very specific things, very specific quirks to bring to a character, and you know usually it works for him for people. But I feel like Nicolas Cage just does. Like he did one a couple years ago. It was an adaptation of the H.P. Lovecraft Color Out of Space for like a, I don't know if it was A24 or some like low budget sci-fi movie. And it's really good. Like, and seeing that crazy Nicolas Cage that we get, like that really works for him. Like, I think the stuff he's landing on now compared to his earlier career, which was also good. But like, yeah, Next wasn't very good. I hated Face Off. I'm sorry, Hedgehog.
I like Face Off.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
I
Len.
probably wouldn't like it now, but I mean, at the time, that's what I mean. You were like swept up in those action movies, man. That was like the Michael Bay, like Armageddon, like everything was action and big budget.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like I'm not going to give away anything, but in the movie he is playing himself. And I think, it's funny because at one point he's like talking about like in any other profession, if somebody works hard and they take on a lot of jobs, it is considered a good thing. Like they're a hard worker. But if you're an actor and you take on a lot of movies, then it's like, oh, well, you should be more picky about the roles that you're choosing. And he's like, I don't want to be picky about the roles I'm choosing. I want to act regardless of whether it's quote unquote a good movie or a bad movie. I just want to act. And there's something that's kind of, I don't know, heartwarming about that it's like it doesn't matter that it's a great script and it's written and he thinks it's going to make millions of dollars. Like he just wants to do his craft. So I think that's pretty funny. But
Yeah, like Dave's mentioning Mandy. I watched that movie. I can't say I'd recommend it because I had a headache after watching that. Like just the way that was such a difficult movie to physically get through watching. It was really interesting. It's
what's Mandy? I don't
even know what that
recognize
is.
that one.
It's weird. Look it up later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely saw Raising Arizona. That's a good one.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
jumping off with him was that Rapture movie he did. Remember when it was like rapturous, like where it was like
it was weird.
Yeah, it was like it was really. I feel like it was one of his last like really big budget ones.
Knowing?
Tanked. No, he's like he has a son and like there's an alien. Like, is it aliens are coming and they're gonna wipe out like the whole human race? And there's just
that's
no
Knowing. Well, they pull the like the time capsule out of the school at the beginning, and they're like the kid is like writing on the desk.
Yeah, Star said Left Behind.
He did a Left Behind.
Yeah, it was like and at the end, that's how it ends, is where like he dies, everyone dies. The kid gets taken away and saved as like an example of the human race.
That's Knowing.
Everyone effing dies. Okay, well, whatever it is, that's where I jumped. I was like,
yeah, he's like a professor, works with like a what is that? Yeah, telescope.
Is it? Yeah, like maybe he sees them coming or something.
And like the fire comes and like burns all the animals, and yeah, and his kid and like the daughter of the Rose Byrne's character get taken away to like a new Eden at the end.
I think so, yeah.
That's
Knowing. It was just super sad. Like at the end, I remember.
Yeah.
Like it left you really sad. And like, okay, it's okay for sad movies. Like I'm not like it doesn't bother me that much, but like when it leaves you with like that much despair.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like that one with Haley Joel Osment where he's the robot.
Gosh.
At the end, oh my God, like I never want to see it again because the ending is like so freaking sad.
Oh
like, you're
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
AI was a Stanley Kubrick kind of interpretation of Pinocchio. That he died before he completed it, and Steven Spielberg finished it. And like it was an interesting movie, and then the last like 10 minutes of it was just like, what? Like I was house sitting for my brother at the time I watched it, so I had to like go out into the middle of the country and like spend the night by myself for like 3 days at this house. I was like, I've never wanted to be around people so much in my life. That movie was so depressing.
Seriously. Wow. And I didn't even have like, I think, yeah, I mean, it was before I had kids or anything. And it was just so sad that it wasn't fun. Like to me, like I was like, yeah, that's not fun. Like,
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm shocked that Trevor likes sad and dark movies. I'm shocked.
Well, I mean, you're just mad because he worked Andor into that sentence.
Yeah, Andor. he's Freudian slipping it into. Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream. That was a really hard movie to watch. Oof. It's really good, but man, that is, if you do not want to watch that, if you are not in a good headspace.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that. Yeah.
That being said, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, go see it. Anybody that's watching this, great movie. Won't give any spoilers away, but yes, I will say best trilogy in MCU. Jesse, would you agree?
It's hard for me to say best. I would, because I love the Captain America storyline so much, but his goes beyond a trilogy. So I would say yes. As for 3 movies, yes. Because Captain America's doesn't wrap up until Infinity War and Endgame. So
yeah. Yep.
I really like Guardians. I remember I was late on the first movie. I didn't watch it forever. I don't know why. Just because like
you didn't know who the hell Guardians of the Galaxy were.
Oh no,
nobody did.
I did. I did, but they weren't my Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Like I'm an old school comic book guy, so like I knew who Guardians were, and they didn't interest me in the comic books. Like when I was, so I wasn't interested in a movie of them. But when I saw it, I was like, holy hell! Like it was awesome.
How did you feel with the because they really changed Yondu in the movies. How did
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel going out of the first movie and then with how they wrapped it up in the second one?
Oh, I liked it. Yondu was great. It was.
Okay.
I thought it was a good story. You mean just in the movie part?
Because
then?
he's so different from his comic book version.
Yeah, I didn't even like I said, Guardians didn't interest me in the comics, so
Okay, but you
I
just
knew
knew who
Yondu
they
from
were.
like the Marvel Universe Index books
Okay.
because I would see him and I knew his whole
Okay.
story, right? Because as a
Yeah.
kid, like I had them all memorized, and I knew his story. I knew who he was. He was the guy with the big fin head and whatever.
Mhm.
But I wasn't into those comics. Like I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't into cosmic Marvel stuff that much.
When you said they're not my Guardians, I thought you were saying you preferred the earlier version of the team as opposed to that lineup.
No, I meant more like what I was used to visually.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like even all of them.
Yeah.
Really.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Well, what else is going on, guys? Anything else that you're looking forward to or got going on right now? Len, got any cool parts coming up? Anything you want to share tonight?
Wait, Len, we've got your pictures. Did you want to go through those?
Nah, let's not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll save them. So, like parts wise for Wolf King, we're working on a bunch of zombies parts that are going to be out soon. I showed in the Cabal in different places the cat, the feline skull that we showed at Legion's Con. The one we had at Legion's Con was the one he actually sculpted by hand, and I had a lot of issues in trouble with it. I had to send it out to get scanned. There were some different like intricacies things. It was my fault, but it took a long time. But that's finally ready. Like so, within the next like probably week, I'm looking to get that out. He has another set that no one knows about for a recent figure release. That's really cool. It's a pauldron and headset. There are his mind. Well, I can't really say. What do I say? Mind flare. The squid head that the Cthulhu head.
Yeah.
He did. Oh God, I don't know, man. Maybe 2017. Like it's early thing that he did by hand and never released. There's a bunch of people in the Cabal that are real old school guys that have one that were cast because Zombie made like actual like casts of them.
Oh, cool.
And sold them in the forum days back when there was a forum, and it never was made. And we have that ready to go. There you go. Cephaloid head. What year? When was that, Zombie? That was probably what, like 2017? It had to be before 2018. And that guy he's ready for Eddie. So he's got the Zombie stamp of approval on him, and he's coming out.
It's not a zombie part, but it's the most recent thing of yours I have.
Yeah, that's the combo of Jeremy and Walter DeMarco did that owl head. See, yeah, so Zombie just said 2016, so I was even off in 2017. Yeah, it's a forum day thing, and there were a few people that I think Patrick has one. I know Jeremy definitely has one. You might have two. So that's a cool part to get out, and it looks great in the line as like a mind flayer, type of thing.
Joe's asking for more mud thumps.
Talk to Emil.
He wants a goblin uncle with mutton chops. So
talk to the man. Maybe we need to put together a sculpted live session where he does a goblin.
A mud thump one.
Yeah, that would be.
You can maybe make that work.
That would be kind of fun to do.
All right.
Let me make a note here.
There's another head that's like I know David Williams had painted one and Patrick painted one. I don't think Patrick showed his off yet, but it's like it's similar to it's a hood insert head where it's more like in my eyes it could be either armor or it could be like a cloth mask that drapes over and there's eyes behind it. So if you look for David Williams on Instagram or on in the Cabal, he posted it last week, I think, his painted one, and it's really cool. It's a neat one. I think that's going to be fun.
Got one from Joseph H. Missed that Jeremy didn't have the holiday extravaganza. Was it not getting schedules to line up? Have you thought about doing something similar on your own, bringing everyone from Wolf King to do a special? So I know, initially it was delayed, and then we were going to do it in January, and it just kind of never came to fruition. Any thoughts on doing some sort of Wolf King special?
Yeah, I mean, now that we have the Wolf King YouTube channel that Curtis helped me set up, I think we're gonna start doing a lot more videos. Curtis and Steven have put up a lot of really cool tutorial videos showing like different painting techniques, all the way from how to do flesh tones to like how to set up your wet palette. And there's a lot of cool information going on there, but I want to use it more for like lives and events, demonstrations. The Len live show, if anyone check that out over the past year. I haven't done it in a long time because things are kind of upside down right now, but I'm going to get back to that. Like my goal is by the end of this month to get back to doing the Len lives. I'll probably be from the porch because now the weather's turning again.
I can't wait for the Len lives.
Yeah, they're fun because they're during the day. Like if you're like want to take an hour at work, or if you just maybe you don't have that traditional work schedule like a lot of us don't have, like where you don't work during the day, you work at night. It just kind of mixes it up a little so you can have like a live show during the day.
Yeah, a lot of times I would kind of have like a half day on Friday, and those Len lives were really nice to once you finish a work day and go right into it. So and then Joe says, "What's a wet palette?" Just kidding. So cool. All right. Anything else you got coming up that you want to promote, Len?
I don't think so, really. Nothing I can really think about. Steve's got a new head, the grinning head. I think he showed the painted one, and it's going to be coming up soon. I scaled the young dwarf head for ogre scale, and it sounds weird saying a dwarf for ogre, but it looks really good on him as like a young ogre to give like a more normalized face. And I build inventory. I've been building inventory last week of them. So when I do another drop, they'll be there too.
Star's asking, obviously Star's a huge Cosmic fan, asking if you've got any Cosmic Legions parts. I know you've brought some to some shows. Do you? I don't know. Are they on the site now, or do you have the
no
Cosmic heads on there?
Yeah, no, we don't have any of those heads up yet. I'm kind of in housekeeping mode the past 2 months where I'm trying to get a lot of old projects out before we start jumping on the new stuff. Zombies stuff needed to get out because people have been waiting for it. So I had to do prioritize in different ways to get some of these older projects done. There were a lot of projects that I had going that I paid for, I thought up and had other people sculpt, and they just needed work. They need adjusting. So really the past 2 months has been like kind of house clean just to get everything caught up and up to pace before we do that. There's definitely Cosmic stuff. Like we did some different things. But I think a lot of people want to get the Cosmic in hand to really feel it, get the feel for the artistic look of it, the style of it, and get like an idea of what kind of customs they want to do. Just because I give you like 10 different Cosmic heads doesn't mean that's going to work with what you envision. Cosmic's going to be different. I'm super excited for it because, as you can imagine, I'm a huge fan of sci-fi and outer space. But it's really going to be different because it's so new to us. Like we don't know that artistic style, and I think we have to get a feel for it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like right now, like Cosmic 1 and 2 are going to be pretty close to one another. In terms of when we get them in hand. So, when we do start seeing those, what you're saying is we should have some parts at that point, but just nothing to show right now. Is that basically what you're getting at?
Yeah, okay. Basically. I mean, we did a poll in the Wolf Den, which is our, I hate using the word private because it's private because it's not public, but our Facebook group that we use, and we did a poll in there. I did a poll to see like where is everyone standing customized wise, or just your feelings on Cosmic, and it was like an avalanche vote of people that were like, I'm waiting to get them in hand. Like they just want to see like what they're about, the feel. Like we've had the privilege of seeing them like at shows and even the painted ones to get a feel for what they are. But there's just like, I think a lot of people haven't, and they want to know like what kind of customs do I want? Because there's a lot less restraints on space than there is on the swords and sorcery realm in a way. There's just so many perceptions of what it is. Like, let's face it, a lot of people are going to want Star Wars. We're going to see like Stormtrooper helmets out the wazoo for these things, or we're going to see Space Marines all over the place.
Right.
But it's definitely like going to be a thing where, do you want it to fit in the line of like what the studio is doing, or do you want to do your own thing? Because, you know, like, you can look at what they're doing and they're distinctly not doing Star Wars, right? So like it's where do you want to go? Where do the fans want to go? Like, I'm kind of like, I think I might have annoyed some people by taking that more lackadaisical approach to it and not being like on top of it. But I think it's the type of thing where you really need to get a feel for what's going on.
Right. Okay. Cool.
But we do. I mean, we have stuff like Jesse's showing right now, and it's really cool. And you know, we have to figure out like what are the builders, like what are people going to want to put on what. We know that the Sentries, right, Curtis? Sentries.
Yep.
Are going to be like a huge builder base, and they're
Yep.
cool. I mean, I have a lot that people haven't seen yet because we're working them out. So like, there is definitely things.
So there's stuff in the works.
Oh yeah, there's more than what even we showed at ZoloCon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Star saying that he thinks Cosmic would grant you a lot more freedom to explore and create. So, you know, obviously, you know, outer space, aliens, you're going to have, you know, a lot of different stuff that what we've seen in Mythics. You're not as limited in terms of what you can do. So, yeah, absolutely.
And that's something we've discussed as far as paints go, right? Like, your like palette of painting on Cosmic is going to be like through the roof. Like, you're going to be able to do so much more than what you could do with Mythic, where you're trying to stick in that like fantasy earthly realm and tones.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're right at 2 hours. I think that kind of feels like a show, unless anybody's got anything else.
I made it.
You did. You made it.
I talked your guys' ears off.
No, that's what this show is for.
Yeah.
The more the guest talks, the better, I think. So
Yeah, here on Legion League of Legions, we really like talking about legions, and that's why we're, you know, one of the official Legion shows.
Whoa.
Legions.
But once again, the words of Curtis do not necessarily reflect those of the channel. No, Len, it was really fun having you on. It feels like forever ago that what ZoloCon was, hanging out with you for those 2 days. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to come down at RetroCon and see you there before Legions Con. So
yeah, I hope you do, man. It should be great. That show's huge. You know that. I mean,
yeah. And so, you said it's like doubling the size this year, right?
It's not quite doubling, but it's going to be significantly bigger. And I'm like, whoa. And if you remember last year, I mean, it was overpacked. Like, there was at one point on Saturday where it was like, there was too many people in that place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just packed. So like, they're moving to the larger venue in their overall complex is a good move, and I'm glad they did it. And they're filling it up. And man, I'm saying it right here. It's got to be the biggest show on the East Coast. I can't think of anyone that is going to be bigger. I think it's King County is the one that's the biggest one in the country, which I'll give that. But this one has to be the biggest on the East Coast, because Retro was huge last year. I mean, it take you a whole day to walk through it.
Yeah, I tried to walk through the aisles, but there were so many people. I was like, I just want to go hang out with the people around the Horseman table.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not going to spend money at any of these tables. And it was so frustrating trying to walk through the lines to see the stuff that did look cool to just appreciate. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of cool stuff there. I just did not get to see most of it.
Yeah, it's a wild show. I'm really glad it's grown for them, because the husband and wife, Rose and Tony, that run it are great people. They're really great people. They're just nice, and they run a good venue, and they care about like what's going on, and you know, it's nice. And it's easy to manage, because it's not really Philadelphia, right? I mean, it's outside of Philly, so you're not driving like through the city to get to it, and there's massive parking like everywhere, like because it's in a big complex. Yeah,
it was really nice getting in and out of there. Like, it was so much the hotel we picked was weird. It was in a weird spot because like the main street was like shut down, so you couldn't like pull up to the hotel.
I know the one you're talking about. I saw that one.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice, but like, yeah, because it was just like people were just like walking down Main Street, and like there were like bistro tables all out in the road and everything.
Yeah.
Star, we cannot wait to meet you at Legion's Con as well. So,
yes, Dave. We did meet at RetroCon.
Yep.
I met most of the. I met Anthony for the first time at RetroCon. I don't know if I met Patrick there. Yeah, I was vending their vintage. I had a pretty wild setup where like I almost did like I have to do stuff that no one else does, and I had bins. The tables were basically giant bins, and like this table, everything $5. This table, everything $1. So it was like 1, 5, and 10.
Yeah,
and people were just going nuts, like going through everything and just buying tons of stuff because it was fun. And then my whole back wall was all vintage lunch boxes. Where it was just
nice.
Like this.
Oh, cool.
I think I had like 80 of them on big shelving in the back. And it was just that really memorable thing where people were like, oh yeah, the lunchbox guy.
Excellent.
That's funny.
Don't call me Lunchbox Len from now
on. We definitely won't.
That's over.
You better have that thermos in the lunchbox though, otherwise
that makes a big difference.
Yeah, huge. All right. Well, we're gonna bump you in the backstage real quick. If you've got to go, you can obviously.
Okay.
But if not,
thanks,
we'll
guys.
See you in a second.
Thanks for joining us,
the show, and then
I
we'll
appreciate it. All right, thanks.
Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
So, Jesse, what else you got going on this week?
Well, unfortunately, I will not be doing another Mythic Minute. I thought I had agreed to be on someone else's show, Toy Domination, on Thursday night. We did a bit of his game thing with on Legion's class with Ostradamus and some folks a couple weeks ago, and we're going to do another one with some other guests coming up Thursday night at 9 on the Toy Domination channel, playing like a tabletop game he's working on where he's using, in the one we're playing, we're using Mythic Legion's figures as our token in the game, like our character in the game. So I'll be doing that this week. Friday night we've got OffWorld with Yumi, Dooch, and Skavarna.
Yeah, and I believe on the docket we are going to talk about War of the Aether Blade. We are going to be talking about Galaxy Quest, and we're going to be talking about the amazing award-winning franchise that is Step Up. So
yes. Look, the Step Up thing will probably not be a super long conversation.
It's going to be long. I watched 6 movies. I'm
which
getting
is
some words out.
One more than I did, and I know Sean. Sean came over last night. As tired as I was, he came over last night, and we watched the first one. So
he should have watched 3.
I tried to talk him into 3, but he wanted to start with 1 because he figured that would be, if Dooch watches any, he figured that's the one he would watch. So
okay.
So we got that next Sunday. Well, before I get to next Sunday, I do want to give a shout out to the Euro Legions podcast. I've been really enjoying the show those guys put out. Just really great, nice, chill. Like, I don't normally like listening to podcasts that I can't interact with.
Yeah,
don't have like a live show, even if it's audio. If there's a way to interact with it, I like it. But like, just listen to those guys talk is just. I know you said it's like on your one of your comments, it was like being in the pub, just listen to these guys talk, and it's just fun. Like they keep it light. They're getting into the lore and all this stuff. Was it episode 8 or 9? They were talking about all of Rich's, like all the custom factions he's made and how most of his customs go into those other things. So. Check out the Euro Legions podcast.
They've been doing a lot of lore conversations, and they just started talking about All Stars. So yeah, good stuff. Very easy listening. How did
we not talk about All Stars tonight?
We talked about it Friday a little bit. Yeah, we should have asked Len about his thoughts on All Stars.
This show isn't that show though, even though we're on it.
I know. We should talk to Len about All Stars, but oh well.
How about
Anything
you?
else, Jesse?
That's
Monday
yeah.
or Sunday, you were going to pull up this show.
Yes,
The
yes.
thing.
So next Sunday we have someone who I don't know if they're in the Cabal, but I know they do collect at least some Mythic Legions. A couple months ago I showed him as one of my shelf selections. He goes by Mr. C, and that is how he said he is known in the diorama communities and everything. He made that awesome tavern that was like the 3 stories tall with all that stuff. So we're gonna
Inside,
have
outside, like
inside,
yeah,
outside.
man, it's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. So if
Um,
you guys don't know who we're talking about, check him out on Instagram because he's got some
mhm.
great stuff, and I would expect us to get some dio tips and tricks and
Yeah.
cool pictures and everything else next week. It's going to be a fun show.
Yes, yeah, it'll be cool, and like this is great because this feels like it's going back to the beginning of this show last year, when I started talking to people that I didn't know. Like,
Mhm.
we've talked about being on the show, but I like his pictures and comment maybe here and there, but it's not a person I know personally on any level. So it's fun to get to know people and just expand the love and appreciation of toy customizing, whether it is Mythic Legion, Star Wars, what have you, just dioramas. It's a lot of fun. So next Sunday
Absolutely.
night, 9 o'clock, Mr. C.
I said absolutely that time. It was me. You don't. Nobody has to drink.
Take a drink.
Um,
How about
as
you?
far as one other thing that I've got, I've got my tactics in, started messing around, doing some pop and swaps. Posted some in the Cabal today. I'll be posting them on Instagram as well. So take a look at those. Man, these things are a lot of fun. I've got my own feelings on the whole tactics, everything that led up to this point. But got to say, the figures are amazing. If you got some on the way, you're not going to be disappointed because they are really cool. So
Yeah, I saw your pictures right before we got into the green room earlier, and yeah, go check out Curtis's pictures. They were really cool. Yeah, so we'll maybe talk about All Stars. I guess next week we'll know the tally, or I know the vote ends next Friday if they don't.
yeah, it
Get
ends
all the,
Friday. I don't know when we'll hear the results. I
I
know
imagine
last
it
year
probably won't be
after the
overnight.
vote was done, it was actually I think a couple months before we got the official. But I would expect that it's not going to be that long this time, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah,
So
very cool. Well, I think that's all I have for you tonight.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for watching.
Yes,
Those of you
absolutely.
that watch live and anybody checking out on replay, don't forget to subscribe and hit the Legendati Facebook group. That's where you'll see what kind of things we got coming up on all our shows, any guests we got coming up, all that kind of stuff. So, and
Excellent.
JG says, I'm brave giving that Attila armor to an orc. Well, orcs deserve to dress nice too.
So I mean, did he take Attila out? Like,
he is just wearing cool armor. He is
okay.
a good orc that's in the Odysseus faction.
Oh,
but that's
okay. So
not
he's a
that.
heroic orc.
Yeah, he is a heroic
Okay.
orc, and he is not wearing Attila's armor. He's wearing his own armor that just happens to look very similar to Attila's armor.
All right. Very cool.
So my neck of the woods.
I like it. The multiverse of mythos is
There you go.
a mighty magical thing. All right. Well, I think that's a show, folks. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. It was really cool seeing all your comments. And even if we don't mention all your comments, we do see them and appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to do it tonight, Curtis. If you're still here and watching, or you're watching in the replay, why don't you hit that like and subscribe button and join us every Sunday night. And if you're into it, join us on OffWorld. It's a little more salty over there, a little more playful. But we have a good time, just like hanging out. So, thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful week. And as always, oh wait, I got to bring something up. gotta do that. Man, that was almost smooth.
It was real close to being
That's
smooth.
real close. All right. Yeah. What's on your shelf?